Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Froe Show. My name is Frank Mencken and I'm joined, as always, by my beautiful co-host, Joe Murray.
Hello, Frank.
I have no idea what that sounds like. Is this... How do I... I've forgotten how this works.
Well, we can't hear it anyway. Got no
Doesn't
speakers.
matter. What's up?
Doesn't matter, yeah.
This is episode 102.
Oh, yeah.
That's a little bit fun.
Yeah.
You probably won't be able to hear it too much, but they're doing cleanup stuff in the background, so if you hear that, sorry, but I also don't really care that much.
Nah, it is getting a bit louder now, but...
Yeah, but they'll be done in like 5:10, so
Yeah.
it doesn't really matter.
Nah, it's good.
Before we started the show, Joe, we were talking a little bit about creating things and making things, and you said you wanted to talk about it a little bit more
Yeah.
on the show.
Yeah, so, well, you know, lately I haven't felt like I've been creating a whole lot, or the stuff I have been doing has just been for work, and I've had too much free time. Too much free
Yeah.
time. And I'm not using that free time to create. So, yeah, I'm trying to think of different ways to do it, and one of the things we mentioned before the show is maybe doing a big project,
Yeah.
right? It's getting very loud now, hey.
Hello?
Okay,
Okay.
bad time to start. Oh well. And I thought about that. I also did like a kind of like a dummy run of a vlog, and have realized very quickly that like being in front of the camera is not for me.
Yeah.
I would much prefer to be behind the scenes. I don't really know why. It's just not my thing, I guess.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So I don't know if YouTube. Oh, there's definitely ways to do it for me to be more comfortable with it, I think. But
Yeah.
definitely the style I tried wasn't okay. So, so I thought about starting really, really small and just going back to like even just putting something out on Instagram.
Yeah.
Because I think also that's an issue for me, is just putting stuff out and not worrying about what other people think.
Yeah.
And you know, that's something that you've already been through and you've pushed past that.
Yeah.
And something that I think I already had pushed past that, but now that it's been so long since I've done that YouTube stuff, it's, I don't know.
Yeah.
So I also like the idea of that, that bigger project type thing that you were talking about. But had you had plans to do that?
Not yet. Well, I mean, I'm already working on a couple big projects.
Yeah, of
at
course.
the moment.
Yeah.
So I don't want to add anything more to what I'm currently doing.
Yeah.
Put it that way.
Yeah.
I do actually. That's kind of a lie. I do want to do some like more produced movies, like for the channel. Like I have a couple ideas that I want to do with Maddie, and things like that.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool.
I'll tell you about them after we record. But things like that I have in mind, and they'll be like, they'll come out like that day. Bees. That's a heavy table.
Yeah. We might.
I'm gonna cut this.
Yeah. All right. I think
we're good.
Yep.
Yeah, so I want to make some more highly produced movies for the channel, where like the vlog is the behind the scenes for that movie. So that it'll come out like the movie will come out at the same time as the vlog. Means that I have to edit like a full movie in like however long I have left of that day.
Well, you could, put the movie out and then that could be that vlog for that day.
Nah, because I want them to be kind of separate from the vlog.
Yeah.
Like think how like Casey Neistat did the snowboarding with the NYPD video, and then also in the same day had the vlog of the behind the scenes of that. Like that's kind of what I'm thinking.
Right. Okay.
But I have a couple ideas for that already for bigger things. But it's just those are like things that I actually have to organize and have to source things for and get them set up. So,
Bless you.
oh my goodness, yeah. But yeah, sorry. Go on with what you were talking about.
I don't know now. I don't know what we're talking about.
Big projects.
Oh yeah. So like one of them talking about just before the show with like skateboarding. If I were to do something like that, learning to skateboard in 30 days, like one of those type of videos. I don't know. That could be fun. I could give that a go. That definitely gives me something to do over the long term, which is nice.
Yeah, and that's also like it's a lot less work Like, it's a lot of work in terms of, like, you have to practice every day.
Mm.
But it's a lot less work in terms of being in front of the camera. Like, you only really have to talk to the camera for, like, 7 minutes total.
Yeah. Like
and then the rest...
intro, middle stuff on outro.
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of it.
Yeah.
And the rest can... Well, it'd be a bit boring, but the rest could just be time lapses of me
falling.
Yeah. So.
Oh no, I broke my wrist. Yeah.
Yeah. But the other thing could be making this the show a passion project. I know I've talked a lot about different ways that we can promote it and whatever, but also this week I've realized a lot, like you're very busy now. And I'm not as busy. So what if I just, when we were talking about promoting this, a lot of it was me thinking we're going to do it, but even we don't see each other often enough to be able to work on this together all the time. So I think I have to scrap that whole mindset and try something different. So yeah, that could be another little passion project because I want to see this get bigger and more popular. So, and we've been doing it for long enough now. Yeah.
That we're very comfortable with what the show is.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think that, I'd like to think that I'll be able to actually start working on that now.
Yeah. I think that's a good idea.
Yeah. So that could even be an even longer term thing. Yeah. And I'm trying to really strip it back. So really starting small with, I don't know, starting with putting thumbnails on the story every week, and then making one reel a week. Yeah. And then every now and then putting 2 out a week and just seeing
how
what
it goes.
happens. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that I'm going to try to do that. We'll see what happens. And now I have a lot more time on my hands, and my life is a lot more structured than it was when we last talked about this late last year.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, whereas my life is significantly less structured than it was. Yeah.
And even now, I'm constantly thinking, when we were talking about the show recording this morning, I was like, we could go do something after. I was like, wait, no, Frank will probably have to do his vlog and all that kind of stuff. And anyway, so this.
I am free today until 3:30.
Oh, there you go.
So
we can do whatever then.
We can do whatever.
Yeah.
No, I get that, and that's been something that I wouldn't say struggled with because it's been a very conscious decision. Because I did realize, I had the same realization. When I'm not creating things, I get really sad.
Yeah.
And or I'm not motivated to do anything. That's what I had. And there's this balance, right? Because I had it again this week, and we were talking about it before the show. I made a movie this week called My Worst Movie Yet. Yeah. Or My Worst Movie So Far, something along those lines. And it really is. It's terrible. That movie sucks. Literally, don't go watch it. But that day was I just felt like crap. I felt terrible. And I couldn't pin down why, because I was I've done all the things. I've eaten. I've slept really well. I've been creative. I've been making things. But then what I realized, and I talked about this in that movie, what I realized is that I was doing all of those things, but I had taken away time from things that made me happy. Climbing. I hadn't spent time outside and doing exercise and things like that. And that was kind of a little brain moment for me, because I was like, oh, I do still have to put time aside for those things. Yeah. Otherwise, I will go insane. And so I think that was kind of a little aha moment for me, because then I spent all of Thursday doing nothing, and I went for a climb, and I went and hung out with a friend. And then on Friday, I went out to the beach and I exercised and I swam a lot and I I went climbing that night. I just spent the whole day outside. So it's there is this balance that we need to achieve there. I can't just be making things all the time. And I can vlog those things. And I did. And I felt fine. I didn't feel the experience was worse for any reason because I was filming it. But yeah, anyway, I don't remember how we got here, but that's how that's what I've been thinking about this week.
Yeah.
And that's been really good for me, having that creativity balance. Oh, that's what we were saying, how when we don't create things, we get sad.
Oh, yeah, sad.
But then there is that flip side. If you're creating too much and not making room in the rest of your life for the other things that you enjoy or that make you happy, it's just gonna you're gonna keep going the other way.
Yeah. Life is about balance.
Life is about balance, Joe. That is a really good point.
Yeah. That's really interesting that you've sort of come to that now. Because at the beginning of the month, we're talking about, how great it is to be creating all the time.
And it is. It really is.
Yeah.
But you gotta make room for the other things too. And I don't know. I think so far this like making a movie every day thing has just been like such a positive thing on my life.
Yeah.
And in that, actually, while we're on that topic, sorry to derail you again.
No.
But Neve in that movie asked me, because I was filming everything that day. But what happened was I filmed a whole vlog that day, and when I'm driving home at the end of the night, I usually piece together the vlog in my head before I even get home, and then I don't have to worry too much about like editing it, because then I already know like what clips I'm going to put where. And I was driving home that night, and this was episode 40. Yeah. This was the 40th movie that I'd made in a row, and it was the first one where I went, I have nothing good. Like, this movie sucks.
Right.
And so I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do now. Like, I hadn't planned for this outcome.
Yeah.
And like on that day, Neve had asked me like, you're working so much now, like just don't burn yourself out, basically. And I was like, I just been thinking about that, and I was like, well, if I can make a movie about something that, about a day where I had nothing to make, then I feel like I'm thinking about it in the right way.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like, I have to make something really, really good every single day. Like, some days are going to be better than others. Like, I have, of the 43 movies that I've made now, I'm super, like 5 of them I actually love.
Right. Okay.
Like 5 of them are movies that I'm really, really proud of. I'm proud of all of them, but I'm proud of them as a whole.
Yeah.
That I've made 43 movies. But most of them I'm kind of like, yep, these are good movies.
Right.
Whereas there's like 3 that I'm really proud of, and there's maybe 2 that I like would like put in high regard.
Yeah, okay.
So yeah, like it's just like that repetition. It's like, people like, you make a painting every single day if you're an artist. Not every single one of those paintings is going to be a world-class painting.
No.
Like, not every single painting of Van Gogh's is Starry Night, Like, only one of them was. And I think that's something that as media creators we forget, because we're constantly making things and we expect them to be at this really, really high level. They're obviously going to be consistently good, but they're not all going to be masterpieces. And that's, like, something that I've really, like, I knew, but something that's really, like, hit me now.
Yeah.
And
that's where burnout happens, hey? That's where we went wrong last time.
Yeah, because we were trying to hold ourselves to this really, really high standard. And now we haven't lowered that standard, but we've made that standard more achievable.
Yeah.
And that's...
And flexible.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you want to keep producing stuff that's of high quality, but then it's like, if you have a day like that, you're not going to beat yourself up about it.
No, exactly.
It's just like, well,
yeah, exactly. Yeah. And that's what I said in that movie. I'm like, this movie sucks, but I'm still proud of myself that I made one today and that it's here.
Yeah.
Like, and that's all I ever set out to do. That's all I've ever promised. I've never promised anything other than that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Really cool. That's like a dodged, in the way I see that, as a dodged burnout.
Yeah.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought. That's exactly how I thought about it as well.
Yeah.
And now that I'm very conscious of that, I think I can kind of navigate it a little bit better.
Yeah.
And it worked really well. It's really cool, like looking back on that footage of that day and seeing all of it like build up and build up and build up. And it's like, yeah, at the end of that day, I was like, wow, I really, like, looking back on it, that could have been a burnout point.
Yeah.
And like, I reflected and I saw what was happening and I made changes to rectify that. And I think that's like the really important part. And I'm not saying that I'm like a burnout expert.
No.
Because I don't think I've been like completely burnt out before. But I've definitely like lost that creative spark.
Yeah.
But that was because that's what we've talked about before. That's because I was relying on motivation and not discipline.
Yeah.
And now it's discipline. And that's very different. Discipline is a completely different game.
Yeah. So that was Friday?
No, that was Wednesday. Thursday. Sorry. Thursday was the... Let me double check this for you. Sorry.
I just wanted to know, what was like the next vlog? Like, how did you come back from that then?
So, yeah, so that was Wednesday. Wednesday was my worst movie yet. Thursday, I I just came back like normal. I didn't really acknowledge it. Thursday I went climbing. I did acknowledge it. I said at the start of the vlog, like, I've had a really rough day, basically. I didn't start the vlog until 3 that day.
Yeah.
And I went for a climb, and I went to the movies with Curtis and Ciara, and then that was it. That was my day.
Yeah, okay.
But I made a vlog that day that I was proud of. Like, that was a good vlog. I was happy with that. And then after that, it was back to normal. Like, Friday was beach day and climbing at night. And then yesterday's vlog, the one that came out this morning, really happy with.
Yeah?
Really, really happy with.
Okay.
That one's called Shooting a Rap Music Video with Zero Budget.
Oh, yeah, I want to see that one. I want to watch it.
It's good. Like, not to fucking but, like, it's good.
It's good?
Yeah, but I don't know. That said, all that said, I would not recommend you to make a movie every single day unless you've really, really, really thought about it.
Yeah.
Like, it's not something that's like, it's achievable, sure. It's not like absurdly difficult, but it takes an obsessive person.
Right.
Let's put it that way.
Okay.
Like, I don't know. It's like, it's one of those things where I really do, in all earnest and genuine, I think that it would help every single person that tried it. But it's also one of those things where, like, it could also very easily be a detriment to people.
Yeah, okay.
And I think that the real takeaway is, don't make a movie every single day, but make something every single day, whatever that is.
Yeah.
And that's something that I'm very quickly becoming a really big, what's the word, proponent of? Is that the word?
Advocate?
Yeah, advocate. That's the word I'm looking for. Really strong advocate for is you just need to make something in your discipline every single day that firstly serves you and secondly provides value to others.
Ah. Yeah.
That's it. There's and sorry, I'm just gonna keep just
going.
like
Keep going.
because it just doesn't stop anymore.
Yeah, good.
But there's 3 things. So the way to provide value for people, there's 3 ways to do it, and you have to have 2 of them. Yeah.
Okay.
So there's 3 ways. 1 is be an interesting person. 2 is have direct information to share, and 3 have good editing.
Okay.
Those are the 3 things you need. You need to have 2 of them. So you can have 3 of them, sure. But you need to have 2 of them to provide value. So you can have an interesting personality and have good editing.
Yeah.
And that provides value because that's entertainment.
Yeah.
You can have good editing and specific information to share, but not be an interesting person. That still provides value. That could be like all of those channels that are like, here's how to learn Java.
Yeah.
And it's like some dude who speaks at like one tone for like 14 minutes, but that provides value.
Yeah.
And you could have terrible editing, but if you have something of value to share and you're an interesting person, you're going to provide value.
Wow.
So it's like, that's like the formula. And like, obviously all 3 is the best.
Yeah.
But if you just want to provide value in some way, like that's the way that I've been thinking about it. And that's why, like, I think in the last maybe 15 vlogs, my personality has come through a lot more. And that's because of that. That's what I'm thinking of now. Like, you know, that's something that I'm really conscious of, is I don't want to be like showing a false version of myself in the movies, which becomes increasingly harder and harder.
Yeah.
As you can't maintain a fake persona when you're making a movie every day. It just doesn't work.
Yeah.
You just can't do it. So that's something that I've been thinking about a lot. But
very
it's my
interesting.
little-
That's cool. Is that those 3 things you've discovered yourself?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's like I was saying, it doesn't stop anymore, and that's been my favorite part about making something every single day. And this is why I want people to do it, because your creative brain doesn't turn off.
Yeah.
It just constantly is moving, and sometimes that's a bad thing. But most of the time, it means that you're just constantly coming up with ideas and ideas and ideas and ideas. And it was like in last week's podcast, my dad listened to it, and he mentioned like when we were talking about ideas for you to make things, and how like I just kept popping off ideas, like like new idea, and that's just like where my brain is at now.
Yeah.
Because it's like, okay, well, I have to make a movie every day. So I'm constantly thinking like, okay, what's an interesting camera angle? What's an interesting cut? Like, how do I do this? Like, and then in editing, like, you know, it just never ends. There's no like, okay, I'm resting now. I'm turning my brain off. It's just sleep.
sleep, and then go again.
And then go again.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. I think it's a really important thing for people, if you're a creative person, even if you're not a creative person, to make something every day in your field. Like, you just have to do something. For some people, that's exercise. For some people, that's creating things. For some people, that's socializing, whatever. But you just have to, like, have something that maintains that part of your brain. Like, if you're a public speaker, you need to be public speaking in some capacity every single day, because then that public speaking brain will never turn off.
Yeah.
So you're always ready to go. And that's been, like, the biggest thing for me, because now, like, someone will say something and I'll be like, oh, let's do this, let's do that, let's do this. And it's like, yesterday I was at the shoot for the music video for Bad Posture. And we were there and Sam was shooting and I was like, oh, you should try this shot, you should do that shot, you should do this shot.
He's like,
and it's like,
what?
it's just constantly going and going and going. And I think that's been the biggest plus for me.
Yeah.
In terms of creating.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I remember that feeling, actually. Like, end of uni.
Yeah.
When I had heaps of projects going on. Yeah, I remember that. Being towards the end, it's like, oh, what if we do this? What if we do that? What if we do this? Yeah. Yeah, it's good. It's a good feeling.
And it's like, you get kind of addicted to that feeling, I think.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't ever want that to stop.
Yeah.
And I know like deep down that there's only one thing that is maintaining that level of creativity, and that's making a movie every day. So I physically just can't stop now.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. It's just like, that's where I'm at, I guess.
Yeah. Sorry, there was something I was going to say, but it's completely lost my mind.
That's all right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Sorry.
Fair enough. No, that's all good.
Yeah.
It's just gone.
It's actually just
right,
gone.
That's
I don't
fine.
know where it went.
What do you have any ideas for something that you can make every day, or that you can do every day?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. That's the feeling that I wish I had back, where it was like being able to come up with ideas really, really quickly. Yeah. No, that's why I've thought about the show first. That was the first thing that came to mind. Yeah, no, I don't know. Don't know.
Well, I think maybe just start with something. It doesn't
Yeah.
have to be anything big.
No.
Just start with something, and then that'll get the ball rolling, and then slowly it'll go and it'll go and it'll go and it'll keep moving.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. That it reminded me of something that, like, it's going to be a sports reference, like Kobe said.
Yep.
And it's like making the difference between, like, masters and just people who are good at something.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, I get up at 4 and then train. And that meant that when he was training at, like, the top of his game, he was doing an extra, like, 2 or 3 hours every day over, like, the other top players. And he was like, that may not make a big difference in the short term, but once you've been doing that for 5 years, no amount of training, no one's ever going to be able to catch up to you, no matter how much training they do in the off season or anything like that. And that's just what you talking about, doing it every single day. Yeah. Like, yeah, you're just going to get so far ahead of everyone. That, like, it doesn't matter what they do. They're not going to catch up. Yeah,
that's exactly. Hang on. Do you want to keep talking about that for a bit while I dig for this? If you've got anything else to add, otherwise.
Well, not really.
So I saw a video of Will Smith today. Hang on, sorry.
No, you're right. It makes me really excited to see, like, the quality of the movies, even the big stuff, like the big projects are going to be coming out in, like, 10 years, say.
Yeah.
How good they're going to be, even for their time. I feel like I reckon you'll be one of those people that are like, this is way ahead of its time.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. Yeah. We'll see.
I reckon.
Instagram's changed how they, like, the liked posts thing. What?
Is it somewhere else now?
Yeah, I can't find it.
It's probably in your settings or something.
Oh, no, here it is, likes. So it was this video of Will Smith, and I really, really hope I did not save it. That's really annoying.
I might have heard it. What was it?
Yeah, it was this video of Will Smith, and he was saying about how, like, he will never, ever, ever be outworked. Like, he's like, you could be more talented than me, you could be more sexy than me, you can be better at acting than I am, but you will never, ever, ever outwork me, and that's why I'm here. Yeah. And I was like, that's exactly the way that I think now. It's like, I may not be as talented as you. I may not have like the same eye as you. I may not be able to like, whip out a beautiful cinematic shot, in 30 seconds, but I will not be outworked by you.
Yeah.
And I will learn those skills. And in 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, there will be no way that you're going to catch up to me.
Yeah.
And that's something that's really, really stuck with me. And then there was this other thing that I saw, and that I can find. But you talk for a second if you've got something to add.
Yeah, that was something else. Similar Will Smith and like Kobe. There was another thing I heard where he, someone else was telling the story about him. He was on the field training before a game, and then someone else came on and was training and like going hard with him, and then he felt like he'd been there for ages. He trained way more than he normally would on a game day. And then he left and he was like, and Kobe was still there for like another hour and a half.
Yeah.
And he was like, so he went up to him and he asked him at the end of the game, he's like, why were you training for so much longer than I was? Or, why were you training for so long? And he said, well, I saw you out there and I had to be there. I had to do better. I had to be there for longer or something.
I love that.
I was like, whoa, okay.
I absolutely love that.
And that's just that, master of your craft mentality.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
So,
okay, I've got this clip. It's from a Van. Okay, this is really meta. It's from a Van Neistat video, who's Casey Neistat's older brother. Fantastic filmmaker, but this is a movie that he made about making movies about yourself. And he was talking about kind of like, I'll just play the clip, but it's a clip of him playing someone else's clip, so it's like real meta.
Yeah, okay.
Because I can't find the original clip.
Yourself. There are elements of your old self that are dying because a new self is in the process of emerging.
I like that quote a lot.
That is a good
Anytime
quote.
you give of yourself fully, there is an old part of yourself that is dying because a new part is emerging.
That's cool.
And that's I think that all like ties it all together, because that's how it works. Like that's what happened this week for you and for me. Is that we both felt really off, and just like not like ourselves, and that's why.
Yeah.
Because we like that old part of ourselves was dying, and this new part was emerging.
Or that old part is dead, and so we tried to go back to that, and it just wasn't there.
Doesn't exist anymore. Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
I'm really glad you showed me that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you should watch that whole... It's a 30-minute movie. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Like, genuinely beautiful. It's him really struggling with how to create a narrative, and whether involving himself in a narrative is narcissistic.
Right.
And he goes through this whole like journey of is it bad for me to be in my own movies? Is that like this whole thing? Anyway, I'll link it somewhere, but it's a beautiful video. It really is. And it's like the movie as a whole, like I feel like I saw it at a really good time for myself.
Yeah.
Because I saw it like probably a month ago. I would have been like in the 20s of the movies, and I was struggling with the same thing at that time. Like, is this narcissistic for me to be making movies and having myself be the main focus?
Yeah.
And then that's kind of evolved from there into like, I realized that I was cutting out a lot of stuff that made the movies more human, and that's not the goal. That's not what I want. And I was doing that in both ways. I was cutting out things that I was doing, and then I was also cutting out things that other people were doing. I was cutting out other people saying things because I was like some of them were too narcissistic. Like some of them, I was too much the focus, and then in other ones, I wasn't enough of the focus. So it's like you just need to find that balance to tell a good story, and that's really difficult.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
new self is emerging.
Yeah. Really cool.
I think that's a really good quote. And go watch Van Neistat. He's an incredible filmmaker. He's not like super prolific. He like will make a movie every couple of weeks, but when he does, like they're Very good. And he doesn't hold himself to a time limit either. They're like, some of them are like 3 minutes long and some of them are like 40. Like they're just like boom, 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 boom. He's just like, and he doesn't watch any YouTube or anything, so none of his movies are like anything else on the platform.
Yeah, I've noticed that.
But yeah. Do you have any closing things you want to talk about on that note?
I don't think so. I think that's a really good place to actually wrap it up.
Yeah? All right.
I like it.
Cool. Okay, well, we will finish it up there then. Thank you so much for listening to or watching this episode of The Froe Show. We hope you have had a good time.
Yes.
That was episode 102, and we will see you next week.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. I'm pretty sure that was the right button. I hope it's not the news. I'm on the opposite side now, so I'm like,
Yeah, pretty sure it's on.
Yeah.
Wow.
Womp.